The Lexington Park Rotary Club presents Money Matters on Metrocast Channel 10, a program designed to aid in the quest for service above self to our local Southern Maryland community. Hello and welcome to Money Matters, the show where we help make sense of all things financial. Money Matters is brought to you by the Lexington Park Rotary Club. I'm Ed Turbush, your host and chairman of the Financial Literacy Committee, focused on serving the community and a better understanding of financial literacy. Today our topic is starting a new business and how you might want to organize that new business. Our local community expert is Marianne Murray. Marianne is a fellow Rotarian and owner of an accounting firm here in California, Murray, Walmsley, and Schrader. Marianne, could you maybe tell the audience a little bit more about yourself?
Well, thanks, Ed. I'm a CPA, and Jenny Walmsley and I started our firm back in 1994. Kathy Schrader joined in 2005, and we just started our 20th year of business in California.
That's fantastic. I didn't know it was 20 years.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Just started 20 years.
So Marianne started when she was in kindergarten, obviously.
Right.
So Marianne, tell us, you were telling me earlier about one of the most common phone calls you get, and it's when somebody's starting a new business. And
Yes. One of our most frequent phone calls is a possible new client who's going to start a new business.
Okay.
And their questions are, how should I organize? Should I go ahead and start as a limited liability company, an LLC?
Okay.
Should I incorporate? Do I have to do those things?
Okay.
So those are our most common questions. And then the next question is, how am I going to be taxed once I organize?
Right. So maybe for the audience, if you could just go through some of those business structures you just mentioned, and maybe just in a simple form, how they're taxed.
Sure. You can opt to do nothing and just start your business, and you would be a sole proprietor.
Okay.
That's very simple. An attorney may not advise that.
Do nothing at all?
Yeah, you can just start your business. You may have to get an employer identification number.
Okay.
But you can just go ahead and start.
Okay.
And you don't have a separate taxable entity.
Okay.
You will just have to file a Schedule C with your regular Form 1040.
Okay.
And then that profit or loss is included with your other sources of income.
So taxed just as ordinary income, just like anything
Correct.
else. Okay.
Taxed at your ordinary tax rate, your personal tax rate.
Personal tax rate. Okay, and that's a sole proprietor?
That's a sole proprietor.
Okay.
Correct.
And then what you said incorporated, what would that be?
That would be if you file articles of incorporation with the state.
Okay.
Okay. And then you have some type of protection, liability protection.
Okay.
Of course, an attorney can help you decide whether you need to do that or not.
Okay.
Another thing you could do is become a limited liability company.
Right.
Okay. And they're taxed different ways.
Okay.
A limited liability company, you're taxed depending on whether there's one member in the company or two members.
Okay. People.
People,
Right,
correct.
right.
So if there's one member, one person in the company, your default is that you're taxed as a sole proprietor.
Just like if the person didn't do anything?
Correct. So you would just still file that Schedule C and have no other taxable form that you have to file for the year.
Okay.
If there's two members, your default classification is a partnership.
Partnership, okay.
And then you have to file a partnership tax return.
Okay. Is that the partnership comes in March or something?
The partnership returns are due in April.
April, okay,
They're
just
due
like your
April
regular
15th.
tax return.
Yes.
Okay.
However, the partnership is not taxed at the partnership level.
Okay.
Any income or loss flows through to your personal return.
So how is that different versus the sole proprietor?
In the end, there's really not a whole lot of difference,
okay.
but you have a separate taxable form that you have to file.
So the actual taxation really ends up being the same, but the process and the forms are different.
Correct,
okay.
Correct. In an overall scheme, there are some differences, but in the overall scheme, there's not a taxable change in how it's going to affect you personally.
Why is it seems at least in Maryland, that LLC is a really popular business structure?
Very popular.
Why is that?
Very popular. There's some ease with it versus being a corporation as far as the organizational work you have to do, as far as board minutes, stock certificates, things of that nature.
Okay.
An attorney could really help you more with those types of questions.
Right.
But I know from dealing with the attorneys in this area, they are very popular.
Right. Now, I guess one question that maybe you get, I know that I get, is do you really need an attorney to help you draft those documents and set up your business?
I would say absolutely.
Good.
I know people opt not to do that, but that would not be my recommendation.
Okay.
I think it's very important that you have that one-on-one contact
Right.
and be able to talk about your specific industry,
Right.
how you're going to finance your business. These things could make a difference in how you decide to organize.
Okay. Okay. So if somebody comes to you and they're saying, okay, I'm starting this business, and they describe the type of business and the industry they're in and what their situation is and their plans, what kind of things do they need to think about when they're picking how to organize their business? What are some of the factors, I guess?
Yeah, some of the factors are how are you going to finance your business? That's very important. That could have some influence on how you decide you want to organize.
So whether you have a loan through the bank or you're using home equity or cash or
your
whatever.
own money, or whether it's going to be outside money.
Okay.
Whether you're going to eventually have other investors, that might determine. Also, what type of industry you're going to be in.
Okay.
Because there's certain industries that might lean more towards one sort of organization versus another.
Okay.
So those are some of the important things to consider.
So in this area, and I know it's not uniform across the board, every situation is different, but obviously we have a lot of defense contractors given our economy here.
Right.
Is there a certain business structure that lends itself to that industry more than others, or?
Well, a lot of the ones that we see do organize as LLCs,
Okay.
but then they do opt to be taxed as S corporations.
Okay.
Or they will just become an S corporation from the beginning.
Okay, great. So, Marianne, on behalf of the audience, I want to thank you for your time today. This
Well, thank you.
was fantastic, and obviously Marianne's very knowledgeable in this area. In 20 years.
Yeah,
That's
can you
awesome.
believe that?
Congratulations. Any final thoughts or message you want to share with the audience?
I would just like to say that, starting a business is a very exciting time.
Right.
The people that come in are so excited about what they're going to do.
They're not scared? They're not...
Well, yeah, a little scared too, but
Okay.
very excited.
Yeah.
And that's good to see. But it's very important that you organize properly from the beginning. So I
Right.
would really encourage people to talk to those professionals,
Right.
the attorney, an accountant, a banker.
Right.
There's resources out there, and you really should talk to these people.
Great, thanks, Sue. So I want to thank our audience for joining us today on Money Matters on Metrocast Channel 10. I'm your host, Ed Turbush. Have a great day. The Lexington Park Rotary Club is proud to present this program in the quest for service above self to our local Southern Maryland community. The mission of Rotary is to provide service to others, promote integrity, and advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through its fellowship of business, professional, and community leaders. If you're interested in learning more about your local Rotary Club, please contact us at 301-373-2780 or visit our website at www.rotarylp.org.